Today I am going to take a chapter on cakes. What are the various types of cakes? What are the different ingredients which we use in cake? And what are some of the defects which you commonly observe while making cake in the lab? And how can we overcome them? First of all, I would like to tell you that there are two types of cakes. One is shortened and another one is unshortened cake. Shortened means use of shortening, use of fat. These types of cakes, they contain shortening as an essential ingredients and they are leavened with the baking powder. Examples of leavened cakes and shortened cakes, they are chocolate cake, pound cake, etc. Then the second type is unshortened cake, the cakes in which we don't use any kind of fat and they don't contain fat as the basic essential ingredients. They are leavened by air or steam or with the help of the beating. Example is sponge cake, where you beat the cake and then you mix sugar and maida and you get the sponge cake. No fat is added in that. Then comes ingredients which are used in cake making. Just like the breads, some of the there are certain essential ingredients, there are certain optional ingredients. Essential ingredients, they are, for example, maida, wheat flour, refined wheat flour. And then sometimes we can use eggs, it's the option. Instead of eggs, some other substitutes can also be used. And then baking powder and then sugar. These are some of the essential ingredients we use in the cakes, and generally in most of the cakes we use fat also. Optional ingredients, they are milk, fruits, any kind of additives you can use, chocolates, choco chips, anything, fresh fruits. These are all optional. Or you can say that we can divide the ingredients of the cake in 5 categories. First is the structure builders, those ingredients which are responsible for building the structure of the cake, and they provide structure and texture to the cake. For example, flour, eggs, milk, they provide structure. Then there are certain ingredients which have tenderizing effect, and we call them tenderizers. They provide softness, shortness to the cake, and such ingredients, they are fat, sugar, then baking powder, they all have tenderizing effect. Then moisteners, which provide moisture to the cake and help to keep the cake moist for some time, help in its keeping quality. For example, milk, water, eggs, any kind of syrup, any kind of juice which we can add. The next category is dryers. Dryers are those which absorb and retain the moisture in the cake, and they also provide body to the cake. For example, flour, milk solids, starches, they are dryers. Then flavoring agents. To have good flavor in the cake, there are various kinds of flavors which you can use. For example, the most common you find like in the vanilla cakes, it is vanilla, then choco, chocolate, eggs, natural flavoring bearing ingredients like cinnamon. All these kinds of flavoring agents can be used. And if we come to the functions of the ingredients, how they are to be selected, because cake making or a good cake depends upon the ingredients which are using. It depends upon the quality of the ingredients which we have selected for cake making. For example, first one is flour, and as you know, it is a structure building ingredient in the cake and it's very important. And this flour holds other ingredients in an equally distributed condition in the cake. In the cake, the flour which we are using, that should be from the soft wheat. It should be a soft wheat flour. That means its protein content should be between 7 to 9%. Like in the breads we were using hard wheat like durum wheat, having more protein content, more than 11%. But in this case we don't have to develop gluten while cake mixing, and that is why we require less protein content in the flour. Short patent flours made from soft wheat, they are ideally suited for cake making. And the flour which we select, that should have fine granulation, because it will have a beneficial effect to provide fineness of the grain structure of the cake. Cake flours are bleached to great degree so that to brighten the color, and extra bleaching of the cake flour, that has also a beneficial effect, that has a modifying effect on the gluten proteins. And at low pH is also important, pH of the flour. At low pH, starch gelatinizes faster. Then comes sugar. Sugar, sucrose, as you know, that is the most commonly used sweetening agent in the cake making. Sugar we use in the cake, that is of that should be of very fine granulation, and so that it can provide even grain and texture in the cakes. This type of sugar dissolves also very easily when you are doing the creaming with the fat, and sugar has a tenderizing effect on the flour proteins. It makes the cake tender. It also helps to retain moisture, and it improves the shelf life of cake. But it has to be used within the prescribed proportions given in the recipe. Too less and too high content of sucrose is also not good for cake making. The golden crust color of the cake on the top, that is due to the caramelization of sugars during baking, and therefore the sugars, they not only provide caramelization, but they also provide good color and flavor to the crust. And then the next ingredient is shortening, fat. You can use various kinds of shortenings in the cake, like you can use margarine, you can use hydrogenated fat, you can use butter. Various kinds of shortenings are available in the market, but the shortening which you select, that should have a good creaming property. It should have a neutral flavor. It should have neutral odor. Otherwise, it will impart bad flavor to the cake, which will not be liked by anyone. It should have excellent emulsifying property. It should be white in color. It should be elastic, and it should have a temperature between 70 to 75 degree Fahrenheit when you have to use in cakes. Most important is that that fat has a tenderizing effect on the flour proteins, and therefore it makes the flour tender. This is the fat part of the batter which holds the air incorporated during the creaming operation. These air cells which are produced during beating or creaming, they have a tenderizing effect on the cake. This fat also acts as a moisture retainer in cakes, and therefore it keeps the cake fresh for a longer time. Granular fats, they do not fulfill this function. They don't have to be used. Too hard fat, that is also not good for creaming, whereas too soft fat will not be able to retain the aeration. Therefore, for cakes to retain their moist eating quality for longer time, we can add emulsifiers also along with the fat. And for example, GMS, sorbitol, polysorbate, lecithin, either singly or in combination, we can use these emulsifiers. and these have to be added along with the fat in the cake mixture. Then butter. Butter is another option which is used for cake making, and this is considered to be the best among all the baking shortenings from the flavor point of view. You know that the creaming property of butter is not very good as of the shortening. Cakes made with the butter, they generally will have a lower volume because butter contains moisture also, and therefore the cakes made with butter will not have a larger volume when compared to those made with the shortening, and they have a coarser grain than those made with high quality shortening, which have very good creaming characteristics. Therefore, some bakers, they use a combination of butter and shortening in the cake formula. But cakes made with butter, they have a very good pleasing flavor, you can say. Eggs and flour, they form the skeleton, they form the framework of the cake. Eggs, they when they are mixed, they they provide moisture to the cakes, they provide nutrition also. Lecithin of the egg yolk, that acts as an emulsifier, and then eggs add color to the cakes also. Cakes improve the taste, they improve the flavor, and moreover they are a good source of protein and other nutrients too. But those who don't want to use eggs, there are many other options also, and they can use egg substitutes. But the cakes made with eggs, they are the ideal ones and good ones. Milk. Milk, when it is used as dry milk solids, that will add richness, that will add structure to the cakes. Milk proteins, they have binding action on the flour proteins, which creates toughness in the cakes. Lactose is present in the cake. You know that it is a milk sugar, and when it is added, milk solids are added. Because of lactose content, this provides or improves the crust color of the cake, and it helps in the moisture retention capacity of the cakes. Milk is also responsible for enhancing the flavor, nutritive value of the cake, and it is a moisture retaining agent. Then next comes water. Water, you know that it depends upon the batter. If you find that the cake batter is somewhat hard, it is not of the dropping consistency, then you can add small amount of water also. It depends upon the recipe. And just like the liquid milk, it also hydrates the flour proteins. It forms gluten when it is added, and it builds up the structure of the cake. And formation of gluten, release of carbon dioxide gas from the baking powder, formation of vapor pressure, they are made possible in the presence of water. And these factors are very important in regulating the volume of cake. The amount of water, that helps to maintain the consistency of the batter, and that affects the volume and texture of the cake ultimately. Then salt. We generally add a pinch of salt if we are not using unsalted butter in the cakes, and salt enhances the natural flavor of other ingredients used in the cake making, and therefore they improve the overall flavor of the cake. They improve the crust color of the cake by lowering the caramelization temperature of sugars. They help to cut down the sweetness of the cakes. They are hygroscopic in nature, and therefore it helps in the retention of this moisture. They enhance the sweetness of sugars. it can be used at the rate of 0.7 to 1.2% depending upon the flavor. Then comes leavening agents. Leavening agents, they are very, very important. They have three functions in cake making. First is that they are responsible for mechanical aeration. And when fat is whipped with sugar, the mixture is filled with minute air cells which expand under the action of heat in the oven, and that gives volume to the product. Then chemical aeration. Chemical aeration is done with the help of the baking powders, baking soda, baking powders of various types. When they are moistened with water and heated, they evolve carbon dioxide gas, and this gas expands during baking, and that is responsible for giving volume to the cake. The next is vapor pressure. If you have added water in the cake, that if it is evenly distributed in the batter, that will form vapors under the action of heat, and this water vapor will exert the pressure, as a result of which the cakes will be leavened. All the leavening agents, they are to be used as per the given recipe. Too much or too less amount of leavening agent is not desirable. Then flavor. It is good to use small amount of good flavor in the cake. It depends upon the type of the cake also, that which kind of flavor we should select. Type of flavor therefore varies with the cake. In general, we use three types of flavoring agents. For example, spices, extracts, emulsions. These spices are granular powders of roots, bark, seeds, blossoms of the aromatic plant. Extracts are alcoholic solutions containing aromatic flowers, whereas the emulsions, they are the colloidal system of the volatile essential oils which have been dispersed with water and stabilized by gum plants. These were the various ingredients which are to be used in cake making. Now, cake methods. What are the different methods by which you can make the cake? There are many methods. For example, sugar batter method, flour batter method, blending method, boiled method, sugar water method, all in process. But generally you see that in the classroom we use the creaming method. You cream the fat and sugar together, and after it becomes creamy and fluffy, then you add egg one by one, and then at the end you add the mixed dry ingredients like flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, which have been sieved together and added in the batter of this fat, sugar and egg. The dry ingredients, they are mixed very gently, and so that the air which has been trapped, it doesn't come out of the batter. And mixing is not done fiercely, because we don't want that gluten should be developed, and with the light hands, by the method of cut and fold, we add flour and rest of the dry ingredients mixed with it, and immediately after that we bake it at about 180 degrees centigrade for about 20 minutes. And then there are other methods also for making the cake, but this is the most common which you are doing in the lab, and that gives very good results. And the cakes, one thing which you have to take precaution, that all the ingredients to be used for cake making, they should be at room temperature. They should not be taken out of the refrigerator and immediately used. That's all about this chapter. I hope that it's clear and very informative. not only to the students of bakery but for the general mean population also, whosoever is interested in making cakes. Now next lecture we will take up on the cake faults. Thank you very much. Bye.